First at 5:30, violent crime strikes in a small Montana town. 3 people dead at a business in Florence. We'll take you to the scene where law agencies are investigating. We'll bring you the very latest information about the suspect. We have live team coverage coming up. First at 5:30. Good afternoon, I'm Jill Valley. First at 5:30, it's a shocking crime that has devastated the small town of Florence. 3 people are dead, murdered at a beauty salon. A customer discovered a woman in a pool of blood in the All About Nails salon along Highway 93 in Florence. This call for help came in around 11 o'clock this morning, but ever since, law enforcement from across the Bitterroot Valley have not only been investigating what happened, they're still looking for the suspect. Our team coverage starts now with Christine Schulteis, who is now live in Florence. Christine?
Thanks, Joe. That's right. I am live in Florence. Right behind me is the crime scene, where police are calling this a triple homicide. Now, authorities have just as many questions as anyone else, but here's what we do know. The call came in about 11 o'clock this morning from a customer who reported someone was down on the ground. Law enforcement arrived and confirmed it was a female. The Missoula Crime Lab came in and did a sweep of the building and found 2 more victims. Ravalli County Sheriff Perry Johnson says one of the victims, who was transported to the crime lab earlier, had an injury to the throat with what he says is a knife or a webbed object. He has not confirmed the death, though, of the victims.
What we're doing now is we're taking it one step at a time. We're working our way into the building, and we're looking for any kind of trace evidence, any kind of fingerprint evidence, any kind of footprint evidence, anything that would give us an idea of what actually occurred here.
Weapon why? Again, Jill, the victims' identities have not been identified. Back to you.
Christine, I know they've been searching for the suspect all day. Any update for us right now?
Jill, there is no update. They haven't caught anybody. He or whoever has done this is still at large. The police are going on any tips that they do get from callers. So again, whoever has done this is still at large, and they're still investigating. Back to you.
All right, Christine, thank you. Now, we do have a description of the suspect. It's not much, but it's what authorities know so far. He is described as a young male around 20 years old. He had on a dark suit. It could be blue or black, and he was wearing a fedora or Panama-style hat, and he was last seen heading south on Highway 93. This is somebody who would be wanted for questioning in this case, someone who was seen in the area around the time that the murders were discovered. If you have any information about this, you are asked to call 911 or the Ravalli County Sheriff's Office immediately. Now, of course, Florence is a tight-knit community where people help each other out, and you can imagine a violent crime like this one that happened today has completely rattled this small town. Here now is Tom Kotz, who is also live in Florence, with more on that. Tom?
Thanks, Jill. And you know, we're here in a residential neighborhood just off of Highway 93 in Florence. Plenty of homes in the immediate area of the crime scene here, and a lot of people out today. When we got here, we talked to a lot of the neighbors. Most of them declined to comment on camera, obviously very distraught with what took place here today. However, we were able to speak with one man who was a neighbor and who this morning was sitting in his home just across the street here, doing what he does every morning, having a cup of coffee when he first heard the sirens.
Down here at the salon, so I thought, well, I'll walk down and see what's going on and see if everybody's okay. And when I came down, they run me off, said that I couldn't go in, and I said, why? And they said, well, it's now a crime scene.
Now, another area resident who we spoke to today said that he saw the owner, who he knew, taking out the trash from the salon this morning at about 8 a.m. He then didn't see anything else unusual until the time that he left for work to go to Missoula at 10 o'clock this morning. So that's the report here. Of course, the neighbors in Florence, a tight-knit community, Jill, very shocked right now at this horrible, horrible crime. Now it's back to you.
Tom, was there any reaction from Sheriff Perry Johnson other than what we've already heard from him?
Well, yes, actually, he did have a reaction, and Sheriff Johnson said that people here in this community don't remember the big crimes because they don't happen that often. They can't remember the last time there was a murder or anything close to what they're calling a triple homicide. And he said that he himself, just like the people in this community, very shocked and saddened by this, and can only hope that whoever is responsible is quickly caught and brought to justice. Live in Florence, I'm Tom Kotz for Montana's news station. Jill, back to you.
All right, Tom, thank you. Of course, this is devastating to not only the community, but to the family members who have gotten this terrible news today. To recap the story, it happened around 11 o'clock when a customer walked into the All About Nails salon and found a woman in a pool of blood, and obviously she called for help right away. When officers got there, they found 2 more victims dead in the back room. Ravalli County Sheriff's officers are now searching for that suspect, a motive, and more about the circumstances of this violent crime. Earlier, we gave you a description of the suspect, a younger man in his 20s wearing a dark suit and hat. Dog teams even tried to pick up his scent, but so far they've been unsuccessful. We're all over the story, and we will bring you the latest information as the investigation will continue on through the night.